Good
while I
afternoon.
So
Good
I am
getting my
afternoon and
screen in
welcome
Nate.
to
place.
the last webinar. This webinar series has been amazing. The information here is invaluable. And if you're stumbled upon the last one, I just want you to know, go back to the first one, both series, because each video has information that adds on to information. And the second round is not exactly the same. It is different and more impactful. So if you're here and you've landed here, we thank you. And we hope that all of this webinar series that Justine Peterson presents, Illinois Ignite, has been beneficial to your small business. Nate, you can take it away.
all right. I am going to pull up my slideshow. We will rock and roll. Here we go. All right. We are live. Well, today is the last day of this series. And like Yolanda said, we've been so blessed to be a part of this journey. And we've got a whole library now of small business tips and tricks regarding taxes and payroll and business optimization and all kinds of pieces that are so important, so valuable for you. And we're so proud of all of you for participating and really implementing. It's only going to make your business stronger, only going to make you more relevant, and you're more valuable in the business place. So I'm Nate Salah. Yolanda introduced me. I'm the founder and CEO of Salah Financial Corp, the Income Tax Center. And today is part two of our small business growth series. And being in business for 30 years, inevitably, eventually, you have more business. If you're doing a good job and you're serving people, then you can handle on your own. When I started on by myself, I was just me. And then I had more clients than I knew how to handle. And then, of course, you start having to do something that can be daunting, be a little bit challenging, scaling. So today really is about this part two of shifting gears on how to grow your business without burning out, without breaking the systems or yourself becoming a bottleneck. And so it's not about hustling harder. It's about building leverage. And so we want to talk about how to grow your revenue, your capacity, and your freedom at the same time, because that's what business owners do. You know, one of the main reasons that most people start a business is so that one day they can have freedom. And we know that self-employment's not a 9 to 5. Often it's a 5 to 9. That's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then longer. And so we want to help you to buy your time back in a way as you scale your business. And so I want to talk and just start with something, a lie that most entrepreneurs are sold. If I just get more clients, everything will work itself out. Well, the truth, revenue can grow faster than systems. More clients doesn't necessarily automatically mean more profit. In fact, what I see most often is that the owner becomes the bottleneck. You see, growth tends to expose the cracks. It doesn't fix them. So we want to dispel that myth just starting out that if I, if I just do that, then it's going to work itself out. There's so many other things that have to happen in your business to relieve the bottleneck. And again, we have to look at ourselves. And so when we look at ourselves, we're looking at almost every business owner, at least small business owner, moves through these three stages. And the first stage is what we call the operator stage. What is the operator stage? Well, you are the one person band. You play all the instruments. You do everything. You're the rainmaker, the problem solver, the firefighter, your HR, your the complaint department. You name it, you do it. Your sales, your marketing, your operations, your finance, your bookkeeping. You do it all. And I've been there, and I know one of you, if not some of you, have been there. And maybe that's where you are right now. And then once you grow and you begin to have people who are doing work with you, Then comes the manager stage. And there's some delegation, but you find yourself that you're still reacting to a lot of the problems in the business, and you're still needed to clear so many of the issues, which are really a distraction to scaling. And then the final stage is the true owner stage, and this is where you operate less like a manager and more like an investor. And this is where systems, people, strategy all kick in. And scaling, if you're going to really scale, truly scale, it requires an identity shift. You see, you can't scale doing everything yourself. You have to have others who are operating, doing production work. You have to have others who are doing sales. You have to have others who are doing the managerial work, and you act as if you're an investor. It's a real true identity shift. You have to change your mindset, and then you begin to scale. So we're going to go through some scaling principles on how to do that. So scaling principle number one, capacity before growth. Here's a big mistake that I've seen time and time again in consulting and helping small businesses to optimize. Now, one of the biggest mistakes is I see is scaling demand before delivery. What does that mean? It means that businesses sell aggressively without knowing their true capacity. That's a problem. How much work can actually be delivered? So here's the rule: capacity is either built intentionally or is built painfully. If you don't define your limits, you're going to have burnout, and it's going to define them for you. So when you're thinking about your capacity, you have to be thinking about, um, what, where is it that I cannot serve any more people? Because the problem arises when you get good, you end up saying, oof, man, I've got all these clients, these customers. I can't tell anyone I'm not taking any clients. That's crazy. I'm not going to turn away business. So what happens? You try to work harder, you work longer. Guess what happens when you're worn out? You know this. You get tired, and then you start making mistakes. So what happens when we start making mistakes? Well, then the quality of the service decreases and the experience follows suit, and the reputation also is tarnished. So we really need to be mindful and then set healthy boundaries around our capacity. And I'm not saying that I've not done it. As I think I've only once said we're not taking any clients, and it was like one day. And I'm, and that's the thing about scaling is like you have to find a way to do that. So you think, okay, what's the very next thing I need to do? Well, people say, well, then I need to just hire a bunch of people. Wrong. Scaling principle number two, you have to have systems before you hire. Now, you don't have to have perfect systems, by the way. If you have a system or a set of systems that's 70 to 80 to 90% effective, that's a good system. But many business owners don't have any systems. And so our principle number two is that we need to systematize before we hire. You see, hiring doesn't fix chaos, friends. It multiplies it. And think about that. Before you bring someone on, ask the questions, do I have written processes? Are they is how to succeed? Is success clearly defined? Could someone else follow this without having me to explain or to share? So there's a simple framework. It's really this: do it, document it, delegate it. I'll repeat that: do it, document it, delegate it. That's a simple framework for scaling in terms of this principle of systematizing. So you hire people to run systems, not to figure them out. Now, you might say, Nate, I'm terrible at systems. I know how to do what I do, but I'm not good at documentation. I'm good at doing. Okay, well, that's fair. Then you need to have someone shadow you and document what you do. Then that person will be the one who creates the system. You don't have to necessarily create the system yourself. It just has to be created so that you're not bringing people on into a chaotic environment. You have to think about systems like this. Think of systems like a football game. When you watch this football game, everybody's got a playbook, right? The whole team's got a playbook, and they all play by the same playbook. And every team on the teams, you have special teams, offense, defense, they all know what the other team's playbook is. They all practice those plays together. They all function as one single unit. What happens? Just imagine you go to watch your favorite football team. You're in St. Louis, maybe it's Kansas City, maybe it's Chicago. I'm from Chicago. And not that they're a great team, but that's okay. You watch your favorite football team and they have no playbook. Do you think they will win the championship? They're not even gonna get close. They're going to get demolished. They're going to get clobbered. And running a business is very similar. So that's the talk about, they're systematizing for the win so that everybody plays with the same playbook. So then the next principle about you, scaling principle number 3, replace yourself first. You're going to have to replace a lot of people in the organization, possibly as it grows. You're handling all these things. If everything still runs through you, you don't have a business, you have a job with overhead. One of the most freeing exercises is identifying your highest value hour. So what does that mean? That means whatever your highest value is, earning that, that's your highest value role. So say for example, you're running the business. I'll give you an example of me. So, um, I could do administrative work. I could answer the phones. I could do paperwork. I could process tax returns. I could do all those things. But that's not my highest value dollar. My highest value dollar is consulting with our small to medium sized business owners because that's my greatest skill and that's what our greatest highest value is as far as billable hours. And so, I could actually. I was just having a conversation with one of our team members, and I was in the kitchenette, and I was washing a bowl, and the team member said, "Oh, you could wash mine too." I said, "I would do that, but it wouldn't be the highest best use of my time. I don't mind doing it, but if I did that, that means I couldn't meet with you. That means I couldn't have the conversations with our clients and bring them in. I couldn't express new relationships with financial advisors who want to send us business. So." What does that mean for our business? Our business is not going to thrive with me sitting here washing dishes. Again, it's not about pride. I don't mind doing it. It's just that you have to systematically remove yourself from everything that is not your highest value hour. So you have to identify that. So a key mindset shift in this area would be if someone can do it at 80%, let it go. Perfection is the enemy of scale. Don't try to get to 100%. That's not your goal. If somebody can do it 80%, you can teach them the other 20. You didn't start at 100%. You were at 80 or 70 or 60. I was there too. Somebody had to teach you to learn. As long as it doesn't severely impact the organization, right? You don't want anyone getting into something that they have no business doing, any type of work. All right. Principle number 4, price for growth, not survival. This is really important. For a long time, I priced for survival, not for growth. I was like the low guy on the totem pole. I charged $10 for a tax return, and I got a lot of people want to do a 1040 EZ, and I was super super low. But I wasn't pricing myself for growth. I was, underpricing. It's one of the silent killers of scalability, and I had to learn this the hard way. For many years. In fact, even just up to a few years ago, everybody was telling me, Nate, you're too cheap. You're too cheap. I'm like, well, I need to take care of these people. Like, well, if you take care of them, you're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to provide the benefits you want to provide. You're not going to be able to provide the training. You're not going to be able to provide the high quality service you want to provide. So you end up being busy, but not profitable. And what happens? Pricing is usually the issue. It's not the effort. You see, so having margin is what funds systems, people, and really your peace of mind to know that you've got the financial resources to effectively grow the company in a way that helps. Now you say, Nate, I'm going to lose some customers if I do that. Well, I understand that, but here's a great exercise in identifying your top 20% of clients. um, uh, identify who I would say your top 20% of clients, and design your pricing around them, not everyone. When I say top 20%, your top 20% of people who are happiest with your service, who are your best referral partners, who don't complain at all when you do raise prices, design your pricing around them, not everyone. Because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're being a good steward of what you're entrusted with. And you can't scale through underpricing. It's tough to do. It's hard. It's hard for me to raise prices, but I know, man, if I'm going to give to deliver the service I need to deliver, it's not about me trying to you know, just kill it financially. I just want to be able to serve the people well. So don't feel bad about that. Number 5, build a leadership layer. Okay. So you can't scale alone, no matter how talented you are. Every growing business eventually needs a layer of leadership. It needs an operation lead. It needs a client facing lead. It needs a delivery or technical lead. Your ceiling as a business owner is determined by your leadership bench. So usually if you're a rainmaker, in other words, if you can, bring clients in the door, they love you, they think, wow, I want to do business with you, and you're really good at that. Usually you need an operations person. You need an operations lead, which means you need somebody on the backside to create all of the necessary operational pieces and systems and maintenance of how this product or service gets sold and gets out the door, to balance you. Think about a guy like Steve Jobs with Apple. Well, he was great at selling the product, if you will, or sharing the benefits of the product. He was a great showman, but he needed Tim Cook at Apple, who was his operations guy, to make sure that all of Apple's sales were efficient and effective and the technology was moving through correctly and all these other pieces. He searched a year for Tim Cook and actually did operations himself. Not great, but he did it until Tim came on board and really helped to take Apple to the next level. So each of these pieces is essential in your organization as you build these leadership layers. Next, number 6, cash flow is the governor. All right. I used to teach business policy for many years. And I remember when I would start the class and the very first words that would come out of my mouth, I would put them on the board. It was cash and flow. I said, these are the most important words in business. If you don't have them, you're out of business. You know, here's something that most owners learn the hard way. Growth eats cash. Payroll grows before revenue catches up. Taxes, they surprise many unprepared businesses. That's why scaling must be paired with cash flow awareness and proactive tax planning. And we've talked a lot about tax planning in a lot of these conversations. So those are great to go back and visit and revisit. But think about this: profit first thinking isn't optional. It's how you will grow and survive. So you have to manage your cash well. And here's the thing about your numbers: you have to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, and I hope this doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, you just don't care. And you think, oof, that's hard, Nate. But just let that one flow. You have to know your numbers. In fact, Warren Buffett, when he would partner with people, he, of course, Berkshire Hathaway, very wealthy man, and he has a number of businesses. He's partnered with people, and he really just has people to partner and manage. And he says that he wants to make sure his partners, whatever the operation is, if they have some kind of retail business or whatnot, he wants them to know how much every roll of toilet paper costs in that bathroom. You say, wow, that's kind of a detail, right? It's not just the toilet paper, it's knowing the numbers. You have to know the numbers. But here's the thing about knowing the numbers and understanding cash flow. You cannot manage what you cannot measure. I'll repeat that. You cannot manage what you cannot measure. So you have to be able to know your cash flow. You have to have awareness. Have to be proactive with it. Otherwise, your scaling is going to be like blindfolded. You're going to be like in the dark and you can't see a thing. All right. Next, number 7 principle. This is a tough one for me, friend. How about you? Say no more often. Oof. One of the most powerful scaling tools, one of the most powerful scaling tools is just those 2 letters saying no. Think about it. Wrong clients, what do? Drain capacity. Custom one-off work. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll knock that out for you. Some cash. Nope. Breaks the system. Discounting. Oh, yeah, let me give you a deal. Kills the margin. We have to have focus. Focus is a growth strategy. See, and here's the thing about distractions. Distractions come knocking on your doorstep. It's been said by Michael Hyatt, masquerading as opportunities. And the only way to know the difference between a distraction and an opportunity is to measure them against your vision. So you got to have vision first. You have to have vision first to focus, right? You can't have focus without vision because you have to have vision that tells you where to focus. So every yes is a no to something else, and usually something more important, right? Because if you say yes to one thing, you have to say no to something else, and maybe it's something more important. And here's an exercise for you, especially at the end of the year. And I just did this. It's a great exercise for vision and learning how to say no. You imagine a year from now that your future self, so yourself on 12/17/26, wrote you a letter and was able to get it to you today from the future, a future you. And in that letter, your future you told you a bunch of goodies, some really good secrets, some hacks on life, not the lotto numbers, not who's going to win the Super Bowl, although you probably want to know that. No, none of that. Just on what you did this year to make that person proud of you. That's powerful. So you write the letter. I wrote a letter. It's actually right here. I keep it out for the rest of the year. And it just says here, Dear Nate, I'm writing to you from 1 year in the future, not of a place from arrival, but from a place of alignment. Before I say anything else, I want you to know this. I'm proud of you, not for what you built, not for what you published, not for what you produced. I'm proud of you for what you protected. And then I go into all those things. And so, how powerful is that when you can use that to say no? Because there's some things that are on this letter that I'm not doing today. So that'll help me focus on those. There's some things that I'm doing today that are not on this letter. So what do I have to do? Close them out. So you know what? It doesn't help the future me. And if it doesn't help the future me, you say, well, isn't that selfish? No, because if I can be a better version of me, I can help more people to be a better version of themselves. Amen. So so that's the key. So you have to have a vision. Write that letter from yourself in the future 1 year, and I guarantee you a lot of things will get a whole lot crystal clear. And so I'm about to say no to a number of things in my life that I'm currently doing. Maybe it's just some things are paused. Maybe things are a break. Maybe some things just need more to wait on God and timing. All those things are okay. But what it does is it helps me now to say no. So that's a great exercise on this scaling principle number 7. All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about real world examples. So I want to share a quick story about these pieces that we've been talking about. So I was involved with a business that hit a revenue plateau. And sometimes maybe you're in that situation. I've been in that situation. And the owner was overwhelmed, just working nonstop. And then we focused on 3 things. We focused on pricing, we focused on systems, we focused on leadership. And what was the result? Higher profit, fewer hours, better clients. Scaling isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things better. You know, back to Steve Jobs, he said when went back to Apple in 1997, he said Apple was executing wonderfully on all the wrong things. They had so many products, they had so many distractions, like we just talked about, and he narrowed it down to like two things: business, personal, and then two items in that. Just a quadratic, just a quadrant, four quadrants. Like this is what we're going to focus on. So think about your own journey. Think about your pricing. Think about your systems. Think about your leadership. If you can focus on those three things, improving based on what we've been talking about, improving your pricing model, reducing costs, increasing your margins. How do I create systems that are more efficient so I have few hours? How do I attract better clients that are more my avatar? Your raving fans. I mean, think about it. You only want to work with your raving fans because they're the ones you're going to satisfy the best. They're the ones who are going to pay you. I actually have a policy. You might find this amusing. I have a policy. And I don't even know if I should share this, but I'm going to share it anyway. That I don't work with certain kinds of people. And those kinds of people are people who want to pay me half of what I'm worth and want to do things fraudulently. In other words, they, as far as like the books, they want to do the books wrong or say, hey, here's my books, but really there's a different set of books that actually made double the money. So they want to pay me half of what I'm worth and they want me to do illegal stuff. Like, I don't work with you. I'm sorry. That's it. Done. I'm not taking your money. Dirty money. And what happens then? You attract people who have integrity, right? I only want to work with people who think that I'm highly valuable, who and people who share the same values as I do, principles, ethics. And you know what? It makes for a nicer day. Now you say, well, what does it mean? You don't work with anybody who's, maybe not the nicest person in the world. I'm not saying that. Some people just need a little more love. We love that. I just have values, and those values determine who I'm going to work with, and I think that we can all benefit from that in our business model. All right, next, I got a scaling checklist for you. I would do this like quarterly. Ask yourself these questions, and just want to encourage you to think about that. Number one, do I know my true capacity? What's my lid? How many clients can I serve effectively, well, with excellence, giving them an amazing experience? Two, are my systems documented? Can these processes be done by someone else without me having to surveil or be overseeing or jump in? Again, if I can't do that, I need to create systems processes. Hey, use AI, ChatGPT, or whatever system helps with those types of things. Bring people in to shadow you if you can't do it. Next question is, am I still the bottleneck? Am I the one who's in the way? When I start bringing the right people and put them in the right seat, man, me being a bottleneck, I get out of the way. It's great. And then is cash flow predictable? Do I know what my cash flow is without looking at my bank account month to month and saying, oh, well, there's money in there. We should do this. That's like the worst way to do business, but unfortunately, it's the way probably 60 to 70% of business owners do. And if you can answer these confidently, um, then you may have your next growth opportunity. If you can't, that is your next growth opportunity. Okay. So, as we get ready to close here, I want to talk a little bit about scaling intentionally and leave you with this. Scaling isn't about hustle, it's about leverage. You didn't build your business to be trapped by it. Um, you built your business to be freed and liberated by it. And so there's all kinds of resources to help you aligning with your growth, your systems, your tax strategy, whether it's us or anyone else online. I would say spend time every single day learning, 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 and then executing, executing, executing every single day to get better and better at the scaling model. And I appreciate you spending time with me helping you invest in your business. And if there's any questions, we can open it up for that. Or comments for that matter.
I was stuck trying to get on video. This was so amazing. Thanks, Nate. As usual. Wow. This is really good information. I am so excited that we had this series. I've learned and grown so much from it. Look at Andrew. Andrew clapping his hands too.
That's right, my man.
And I know that if the businesses that are online and that will receive the video from this, if they incorporate a portion of the information that we were given and just add on it periodically, that they will take their business to the next level.
100%. I couldn't disagree with you. That's very true. And then taking this and saying, "Oh, well, you know what? I want to learn more about this concept." Okay, well, am I the bottleneck? And there's so much information out there to build on this and continue to learn and grow. And I love the way we are in technology world right now, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a book on leadership in business right there. Raise your roof. Yes, they call these shameless plugs. Look, Yolana's got her copy. That's my girl right there. So whatever it is, but there's resources for everyone. And the more it's been said like this, the educated mind cannot be enslaved. Education, 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 freedom. There's freedom in education.
Sorry, I didn't get my copy yet.
Oh God,
Andrew, we can hear you.
I know.
Oh, you want us to hear you?
Yeah, I said I didn't get my copy yet.
Oh,
We heard your background. We didn't hear your voice.
Oh, my bad. That's my People are being very loud outside my office right now.
He mailed it to you. It's in a white package because I didn't know what it was at first either. I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And then I'm like, "Yay!"
Maybe go downstairs and look for it then.
grab it, bro. Open your package. Open your package.
Yeah, open that package.
I'll go downstairs and look.
All right. Yes. Awesome.
Well, if there's no more questions, Jennifer, you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I wish I would have been able to hear the whole thing. So I'm definitely going to hear it on replay for sure because
Check
this
the
is
replay.
1,000% a topic that I so need help on. Like we talked about, kind of understanding how to scale between like that 1.0 box and the 2.0 and the 3.0, and yeah, some of those KPIs and just things like that to know like how I'm moving through the system and just keep it all in check as I'm smoothly trying to go through. So yeah, this is perfect topic. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. There's another great resource. Alex Hermosi, I believe it's called $100 million Business. Jennifer, you can check that resource out. Hermosi, Hermozi, $100 million Business. He's got a great approach to scaling small business to obviously to $100 million business if you wanted to do that. And he's very practical oriented. So great follow-up resource as well.
Okay, awesome. I will
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah,
Thank
and he's
you.
all over the internet too. So if you just like look up
Oh,
Alex Hermosi
yes.
on YouTube, he's just got so many. He's just like old school hustler, practical guy, and he brings it.
Okay.
Love it. Thank you.
You bet.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you, Nate. Thank you, Anne, Shalita, and the whole team, Andrew, for everything that you've done. We could not do none of this without you. This has been an amazing series, and I've grown, and I'm sure that the businesses have grown. You all have a happy holiday and a happy new year, okay?
Happy holidays. Happy New Year, everybody.
Wait a minute, did you have any last words to go with? Oh, did he go? He went. Okay, I'm gone. Bye, y'all.